What's up, players? Welcome to episode 89 of Ready Press Play, your weekly source for everything that's new and exciting in the world of video games. Every Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific or 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we discuss the top news of the week, notable releases on all platforms, what we're playing, big topics of the industry, and the games we love. If you want to write anything to be read on the show, go to ReadyPlayNetwork.com or hit us up at Ready Press Play on Twitter or TikTok. No matter where you found us, please subscribe to the feed so you can get every new show directly to your device as soon as it posts. And if you like it, please leave us a nice review. This is September 24th, 2021. I'm your host, Luis Menchaca, and joining me today is my co-host for the reigning champion, really, from LV1 Gaming. It's Dallaz Man.
Man, what's good, man? What's happening? Every time is a good time. I'm glad to be here again.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose track of how many times you've come in clutch and filled in, because I swear. Dan, just a quick housekeeping. Dan, he sends his regards. He was busy. He couldn't make it. I had a feeling that was going to come to it because we're planning a lot of big things, and he's got a lot of things going on. Some big surprises for you guys coming your way, and just keep it locked to LV1 Gaming. Keep it locked to Ready Press Play's Twitter, and we'll fill you guys in once the time is right. But actually, before we actually do anything, I gotta interrupt the show in here. Let me press play here because I forgot to actually press play on the background game
Oh
here.
man,
So let me do that real quick right now.
bet. Yeah, this is gonna be good. I don't know who's fighting. I don't know if it's still Fox and Falco, but I'm Team Falco all the way on this one. He's the Sasuke to Fox's Naruto. So let's get it. So
Nah,
who's fighting?
I got Mewtwo and Marth right over here. As you can.
Mewtwo.
So here's the thing. I have a particular reason why I chose this pair up here, and it's going to come up in the later on. Actually, it's going to come up here pretty soon in the show. So I put it to 99 stocks. It should last about an hour and a half, which is basically like the length of the show. So I put it to 99 stocks. So take your bet on who's going to win. My money's on Marth, simply just going off of tier list, but these are level 9 CPUs, so tier lists probably don't matter. So yeah.
Yeah, my money's on Mewtwo just because I like that character. So
Yeah, I actually just talked about Mewtwo just earlier this week on Ready Play Movies. We talked about I did a sharing the love segment where I talked about Mewtwo Strikes Back, the Pokemon,
oh
the first movie.
man,
So it actually all comes full circle, man. Hey guys.
that was actually that was set to be one of those for me because like when it came down to it, that time where I wasn't going to talk about Power Rangers again because I only got so many Power Ranger stories from my childhood. Um, that it was going to be Mewtwo Strikes Back because that moment where he turns Ash to Stone with
Yes,
Pikachu just going
I just
off.
talked about that too. I was like, whenever Pikachu was like, "Choo," and he just like, yeah, that was so like the tears and shit like that. Oh my god.
First time I ever cried at a movie.
Damn, damn. I don't know. I don't think I could cry at the time because I was like a little kid, and I just I don't. I think like at the time as a kid, you sort of internalize like masculinity or toxic masculinity because you're not supposed to cry in a movie kind of thing. So yeah. Anyways,
Oh man.
but that being said, though, I actually will go ahead and pull up the first thing here. So actually, let me play the sound effect. All right, so for games I've been playing here, I've only been playing two games, and it's really no big surprise. I've been playing some Smash and Fortnite. However, I do got some news to bring to the table here. So first up, I'm gonna play this video here from YouTube, and I'm gonna mute this audio here. There we go. All right, so I'm playing here a trailer for a Smash Brothers mod here. And this mod is a mod for the original Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 64, where they added new characters basically as like a DLC.
Oh,
And
Conquer.
and basically, yeah, you see Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Day, and like you see Wolf, and basically like the cast has doubled. They went from 12 characters in the original game, and now they got 24 characters in this game, and the game is now complete. Version 1.0 just dropped this week, and it was so hype inducing. I was excited. I tuned in live for the premiere, and I didn't realize that it was 1.0. Like, how do I put this? So they usually been doing versions like 9.1 or 0.91, 0.92, and with each point 0.01 that it goes up in the list, it's one character. And so my dumbass thought that the last character that the last version they released was 0.99, but that was not the case. It was 0.97, which means that there was two more characters left in tow. And so here they thought they were gonna just fake us out in this trailer And the trailer's playing here. They're in the Cerulean Cave. Red or Pash and Pikachu are going to the Cerulean Cave, and they're gonna face off against Mewtwo. And they're doing like this Pokemon Snap kind of thing where he's the guy that's taking pictures and stuff like that. But basically,
Yeah,
it's the
I think.
reveal of Mewtwo. Mewtwo is coming to Super Smash Bros. 64. It was a really hype trailer, and his moveset looks really dope as hell. But then, just to not like just to not out let it be just just Mewtwo. They decided to go ahead and drop us the second character at the end where they just faking us out, and they made it look like the YouTube video is over, and then it fades to black, and the next thing you know, you see Mewtwo. Here, I'm gonna fast forward here. You see here, Mewtwo is like fighting all of the rest of the cast of the characters and stuff like that, and he's beating everyone's ass. And then,
As he should.
and then, and then he's like, "I cannot be defeated. I am the best." And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, Marth just shows up. And
Mm.
Marth is now he's now the last character that they added to Smash 64. So for the final drop for version 1.0, Mewtwo and Marth are in Smash 64. I played them both. Marth is fucking badass. He plays like melee Marth. He's got this tipper hitbox that he's got going on in like melee, but I feel like in this game, the tipper hitbox is like very generous as fuck. So it's like you get the strong hits very easily, even when it feels like I'm hitting like the base. But yeah, he's got everything going on for him. I really like it. I think Marth is hella fun to play. The first character in Smash 64 to have a counter, because the down B counter stuff that didn't exist until Melee. So yeah, they added some cool ass stages and some cool costumes. They added new skins, by the way, finally. So yeah, this is. I've been playing Smash 64, Smash Remix, and I'm having a good time. I can't wait to play this. Pretty sure maybe I'll show you this game in one day when we link up. So,
Yeah, man.
did you have what are your thoughts on Smash 64 getting like this kind of treatment?
Oh, this is dope. I'm always for like fan projects, especially really good fan projects. And 64 Smash was like obviously that's where we all started, but when everybody else was playing Melee, I was playing Smash on 64. Don't ask me why. I know, Melee is the socially acceptable top dog, but I was a broke kid. That's what we had. And so, until I got a GameCube, this was my game. And to see Mewtwo in it, that's my homie. That's the boy. So yeah, I'm with it. I mean, I'm not a big Marth fan like that, but was he from Fire Emblem? I'm not a big Fire Emblem fan. So you know,
Yeah, well, let me tell you this, by the way. This mod can actually run on original Nintendo 64 hardware. You have to have an EverDrive, which I do. So I was actually playing this on a Nintendo 64, like straight up. So it's not like you're running on an emulation kind of PC. I'm actually using native hardware. So they did a lot of work, and they put a lot of work into making it cool. So I tried Mewtwo, by the way. I'm not a Mewtwo player, like not on any Smash game. I like at all. Like I think my best Mewtwo is like Smash 4 Mewtwo. But yeah, he seems like he plays all right. Like I don't know how he would stand up as far as like competitive. To tell you the truth, because he wasn't that good in competitive melee. He was kind of like bottom tier. So, but either way, it's Mewtwo. So there you go. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say and add to it. So we'll go ahead and I'll kick it off to Dallas. Dallas, what have you been playing?
oh man. Okay, so I think I told the story on another podcast, but I'll get there on this one. So I have memories of this game from when I was a kid, from like back in the OG Xbox days. But I really didn't remember much about it other than like the main twist, and that's probably something that I picked up over the years because I don't remember beating the game. I just
Mm,
remember having a lot of jokes about it back in the gap. Um, but one day, I've been on my Star Wars kick,
mm-hmm.
still on my Star Wars kick, and one day I decided let me go back and find KOTOR. I know it's on Xbox somewhere. Ended up finding it. Um, Picked it up, bought it, let it download, and I told myself, all right, tomorrow night before I go to bed, I'm playing this game. The next day was the PlayStation showcase. And boy, can you imagine my excitement. When I saw that KOTOR, the remake was announced. And so, I've been making a little progress in that game. I'm a heavy role player when I play RPGs anyway. When I play video games in general, but when I play RPGs especially, so I'm having a lot of fun. Just sort of just being. I just became a Jedi.
Mm.
I'm on a search, even though I'm supposed to be doing something else, on a search for a couple extra kyber crystals, trying to see if I can find something to give me a little more strength and a little more DPS on my lightsaber. And aside from that, another one of those gems from when I was growing up that I'm currently playing, Ninja Gaiden.
Mm.
I decided I needed a little punishment in my life, so I went and picked up Ninja Gaiden Black. Also, from the OG Xbox. I
Yeah.
love the backwards compatibility, man. You don't even know. But it holds up surprisingly well
Interesting.
for for the time. It holds up really well for the time. It's got a couple of those I guess drawbacks from that generation. A game like that, it's an absolute must to be able to control your camera. And it's instinctive at this point because I play a lot of those character action games. Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, all of those. It's a must to be able to flick that right thumbstick and move the camera around so you can see what's coming around you. And Ninja Gaiden is one of those. I don't care what they say about Souls. Fuck Souls. This is the original Souls.
Yeah.
It absolutely is, and it's got those surprise attacks. It's got ninjas that do crazy stuff like throw like exploding kunai that stick into you so you can't get rid of them, um, and things like that. So I need to be able to see what's around that corner before I get there. And Ninja Gaiden absolutely does not provide that. I flick the right stick and end up in first person, and it messes me up every time. But other than that, I'm really enjoying that game. Um, Ran a little No Man's Sky by myself for a while. May or may not continue playing it, but I did want to mention the game that today I thought, maybe I should pick up the season pass because I never pick up season passes. And I'm probably going to be pretty satisfied. I picked up Dragon Ball Z Kakarot season pass. It was a day one for me anyway.
Mm.
Dragon Ball, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I always have been, like a lot of us little hood boogers. And it was I want to see, what's next. And I think there's going to be another season pass afterward. I think there's going to be more DLC.
Yeah.
So, I'm all the way up to Super Saiyan 3 now.
Isn't like
I
Dragon
need to be
Ball?
Super Saiyan God.
Isn't Dragon Ball Z Kakarot more like single player focused though? Like, how do you put a single?
Yeah.
When I think of like single season passes and stuff like that, I'm thinking like adding more characters to a fighting game to like add more, matchups. You know what I mean?
Well, their
Or not.
season pass looks more like
Expansions, I
there's
guess.
yes,
Like,
they're basically expansions. Like there's a
mm,
couple extra modes. There is, they're story expansions.
yeah,
So
more chapters.
they follow each saga, right?
Yeah.
And some of the animation is just, oh my god, for like that cell shaded style. And so they follow each saga, and they ended off where Dragon Ball Z ended at the Buu saga.
Hmm.
Well, that first expansion picked up where Dragon Ball Z continued before Super came along, with Beerus showing up with like the Battle of Gods thing,
Yeah.
and that also comes with Super Saiyan God form for Goku and Vegeta.
Nice.
And so the next expansion, the Frieza expansion, Resurrection of F or Resurrection of Frieza or whatever, that comes with, I want to say,
Super
I
Saiyan
didn't
Blue.
double check, Super Saiyan Blue, Super
Mm.
Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, which
Mm.
is a dumbass name, but
Super Saiyan
it's
God.
Dragon Ball. Um, I don't know. It's got a lot of. I was a big fan of the original Dragon Ball, right, and still am. I still maintain that Dragon Ball, the original, is a better show than anything that came after. As much as I love Dragon Ball Z, it's a better show, and it's got a lot of those. It's got a lot of callbacks from Dragon Ball. Um, and that's kind of one of the little side quests. You kind of find photos of like things that happened in the previous games. You find people and do side quests for people throughout the old show. So you find Android 8 somewhere, and a bunch of different characters, right? And so I'm probably going to be fully diving back into Kakarot. May or may not do a video on that. We'll see, but it's possible that I'll be streaming a good chunk of some of that Kakarot stuff.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, just one quick question. When you talked about Ninja Gaiden Black, I could have sworn Ninja Gaiden didn't pop off until the 360 and the PS3 era. Like it's the NES era, and then like the 360 HD era. Like like anything in
Oh
between
no,
is anything in
you
between is a
missing
little.
one. You missing the most pivotal era. This is what made it Souls for me. The OG Xbox.
Hmm.
When Ninja Gaiden released for the OG Xbox, it was like the game. And at the time, the thing about the Xbox was, is as it usually is, that power. and the graphics were like the graphics were mind blowing. So much so that Ninja Gaiden still holds up graphically,
Mm.
for the most part,
Well, not to mention
relatively.
the emulation they upscale it anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, and
So
so it's pretty. I mean, it's got its ugly points, like because it still got those full motion videos, and they are trash.
all right,
So
fair
yeah,
enough. All
but yeah,
right.
that was the best era, if you ask me.
Okay. The only other thing I've been playing was Fortnite, and the reason why I just wanted to bring up Fortnite real quick is because the new season happened and they got Carnage. I didn't. They had this thing where like last season where they had a character that you can customize, and you have to pick up these alien artifacts within the map in order to unlock customizations like new facial features, new eye colors, new skin tattoos, and all this other stuff. Like they have all these. It was like a very like monotonous, very dumb, like not very streamlined way of just sort of you're supposed to just sort of like play the map and then keep an eye out for an icon that shows up on your mini map, your little top right corner, and then that way you know to go to it and pick up these alien artifacts. So now what they did is for this season they have a character. His name is Tuna Fish, like Toona, like tune, like Toon Link.
Like a cartoon,
Yeah, like a cartoon. Yeah. So his name is Tuna Fish, and he's a fish character that kind of looks like old school Mickey Mouse, like Felix the Cat kind of thing, like black and white.
like tune a
Yeah,
fish.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Tune a fish, like you're tuning your fish. You're tuning him up. So what you have to do is you have to go to the map, and similar to the alien artifacts, but this time in the map in the main menu, they tell you where they're at, where the artifacts are at. So you get these cups of these jars of paint, and they're red, they're blue, they're cyan, they're pink, they're all these other colors and stuff like that. And so what happens once you collect these paint cans or whatever, these bottles of paint, you can then customize your fish, your tuna. You can tune your fish to be whatever color that you want them to be, and
Oh,
kind of like yeah.
that is corny as hell, but I can see why people would like it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's like it sucks to like to explain it to someone who doesn't play Fortnite, but yeah,
So,
you can
did they
you
put
can
John
tune your
Cena in
fish.
Fortnite at any point?
No, but they put Will Smith in last season
Maybe they did, and we don't know.
because we can't see him.
Like, man, oh yeah, that Mike Lowry though, that was a win though, and I think there was enough cool poured into that character that they can afford to do tune a fish.
Yeah, so there's the tuna fish, and I just wanted to say like I just wanted to comment that the mechanics are much more streamlined, and I appreciate how they made it easier to get your collectibles and stuff like that. And then also they made it so that all of the customizations are like just passive. You have to open up chests anyways to get weapons. So they basically made it so that the more chests you opens, the more you can unlock. So it makes it so much easier and better. Like I'm not complaining now. They also added this thing called the sideways, where like if you're in this like hot spot, like there's like aliens and stuff like that, and they come and like try to kill you and like hunt you. Like they're like these NPC bots that'll spawn infinitely, and then they'll also like give you good drops and good weapons. They just added this OP fuck wall. So like it used to be like when you build you can shoot the building like the your builds to like clear the way and get into and infiltrate. Now they added an armored wall, so when you put the armored wall up, no matter how much you shoot it, it doesn't come down. So it's like you can build
Oh,
yourself an impenetrable fortress kind of thing. So I would like to see what they
oh,
would do with that. Like they just dropped that item. It's called the armored wall. I wonder what kind of balancing they're gonna do with that.
yeah. Let's see what happens.
And then
Keep
there's
like let it stay impenetrable.
and then there's or maybe they'll make it so you can only have like you can only carry so many of them, like maybe two plates or whatever at a time. And then there's also like a system that they added where there's like this passive voting thing where you collect within the game. There's a in-game currency called gold, and you can just pick up gold pretty easily. So now what happens? Like there's these drop points in the map, and you can vote for these things like Splatoon style, where you know how like in Splatoon you had to like it was like ketchup or mustard or whatever the hell, like cats or dogs. So now you can like drop gold into these bins for and vote for one thing over another. So I don't know. I haven't really explored that feature yet because I just saw the trailer, and I haven't played Fortnite yet since they added that feature. But basically, Fortnite is going very ham with features and items and on all these other stuff. Like I'm kind of digging it to tell you the truth. So yeah.
I can see that.
All right. Well, so with all that out of the way, it's time to actually get into the actual nitty gritty of things. We'll go ahead and move on to the topics of discussion. So the biggest topic here is obviously the Nintendo Direct by far. Like it is. It just happened today, the day of recording, and they just dropped so many announcements. So here's a rundown from IGN of everything that was announced during the September Direct. So it says here Nintendo's latest Direct has arrived and brought with it some big updates for the Nintendo Switch, alongside announcing the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack membership that will add N64 and Sega Genesis games. Nintendo also unveiled Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the first gameplay trailer for Bayonetta 3. I don't even know if is that gameplay or is I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it was gameplay.
Okay, all right.
It looks exactly like the rest of the Bayonetta stuff, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna assume it is.
because they swerved into like it was a CGI cutscene and they swerved into gameplay very smoothly because I couldn't tell. Because that part of me almost felt like when she was throwing them punches, they almost kind of looked like CGI cutscene. A new Splatoon 3 gameplay and the expansion of Monster Hunter Rise and so much more. So let's just go ahead and run these things down. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of the opening shots. The opening shots reminded me of The Last of Us at times, especially with like certain scenes. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, like the Earth
Like a city.
retaking its land. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
There was like shots in like The Last of Us 1 that looks like it was taking place inside this very like room. Like I remember there was like a toy room that you can get like for Ellie in the first Last of Us game. This straight up looks just like it. So it just looks like
When you
Last
meet
of
the dude and
Us.
his brother, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
yeah,
exactly, exactly. So it looks like Last of Us, but like kidified and stuff like that, and it's really interesting. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? What kind of game is this? But to
it's Ellie in Fortnite.
seeing Kirby in this kind of world didn't really like jive. It seemed like it was a little tonally off, or I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I second that. It did seem like a little weird to see Kirby in a post apocalypse. I mean, like if we talking about as fans, we talking about as people who examine Nintendo stuff and love to grownify it. Kidify is a thing, so maybe grown people version is. We like to like grownify what Nintendo does, and in that respect, Kirby's basically Majin Buu. If we want to talk about it.
Yeah,
So,
and he's more
as far as
powerful.
that goes,
He's more powerful
and
than
more
Majin Buu.
powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, according to Death Battle, that's still,
Yes.
we can still talk about that. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like it's something that would grow on a Kirby fan. Because keep in mind, this is full 3D. This
Yes.
is not this is not what we used to from Kirby for the most part. The only thing that seems to be on rails is him flying around in that star just now.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that looks in any way on rails, and it looks to be doing basically what Mario is doing now.
Yeah. It looks like
So
Kirby Odyssey is what it looks like to me.
exactly,
But I will say
the last
this.
of Kirby Art Odyssey.
But I will say this: I don't even think Kirby's ever actually had a 3D game, to tell you the truth, because the Nintendo 64 Kirby and the Crystal Shards, that was low key a 2D game, but made to look like in 3D. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys, it was
2.5D.
2.5D. So basically, I can't think of a full like 3D world that you can traverse as Kirby. And as a matter of fact,
I
that's kind
agree.
of Kirby's deal because Kirby's is about the simple gameplay that's easy to like understand, and 3D is harder to you know what I mean, navigate than 2D. So
Yeah. The only thing I really find suspect within that whole trailer is the fact that that boss or mini boss or whatever it is, that giant ape, that giant monkey looks a little too close to Mr. T for my liking. Um,
I need to go back. Let me pull it up here. Let me see if I can.
and these
Oh,
Japanese devs, as much as I love y'all, Japanese developers, I promise on my mama, I love y'all, but y'all take some liberties with black characters sometimes that I just don't jive with, and this is one of them. But other
Jinx.
than that,
Jinx.
man, Jinx. Let's not talk about Mr. Popo. Even though as a character, I love Mr. Popo. From the point that they actually put him in the story, I love him, and I'm one of those people that feels like that's not racist because Mr. Popo was too cold in Dragon Ball. and you can't really take his Dragon Ball Z character. But an example of it being done badly is Dokev. I don't know if that's how you say the game name, but Dokev, the game that the Pokemon that Pokemon should have been that everybody talks about, it looks a whole lot like one of the best games you could play within that genre, right? Until you look at the black kids and how ashy they ended up being. It's so bad. Like they need. I hope one of those monsters, like one of those things you can catch as a lotion monster, um, and he can just be on the backpack like Flood. It just provide moisturize. Wait, it's moisture. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that.
moisture.
Provide moisture for your knees whenever you need it because they did those kids so bad.
My God. Moving on, the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack was announced, which included N64 and Sega Genesis games. It's a big update, and these are coming to the service, but not really. So you have to pay extra. So like I have NSO already, and now I gotta. It's making it so that if you want these extra bonus games and stuff like that, you gotta fork up the money. And it says that the update will arrive sometime in October. Nintendo promises that it will reveal more about the pricing and the exact release date closer to its launch. And let me see here. It says the lineup is for the N64. Day one is going to be Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Sin and Punishment, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis, Winback, and Yoshi Story. That is a dope ass lineup, by the way. Like you got like some of the best games. Like honestly, if you throw in Smash 64, you're good. You're pretty much damn near gravy with like the best of the lineups. So what do you think of this N64 lineup?
It's getting there. Like, I in general have a bone to pick with Nintendo, about really making us wait for a subpar service. Like, I'm not trying to be one of those people because I still play my Switch. Like, I'm a Switch defender, if you will. Sometimes, but within the case of Nintendo Switch Online as it was, you can check any social media platform and hear people telling you it's trash, but it's not hyperbole like it usually is. It's not just people, dumping on something for the sake of dumping on it. That being said, the NES lineup, some good stuff in there,
Mm-hmm.
but only some. There could have been a lot more there. The SNES lineup, and I told myself I was gonna hold off on even caring about Nintendo Switch Online until like I didn't even pick up Monster Hunter Rise as much as I liked it. I didn't spend my own money on it because I didn't feel like there was really a reason just yet to play Switch Online,
Mm-hmm.
and N64 was supposed to be my reason.
Mm.
Um, it's not there yet.
Really?
Drop Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 on there. Drop like there's so much stuff on there that you could have put on there to because we need a library. If you're gonna make me pay for a service, because a lot of us are not on Switch playing anything competitive multiplayer. So not people ain't playing Fortnite on Switch like that. You know what I mean? People are not playing all of these games that you would expect people to actually pay for online
Apex.
service. Apex, all of these games, like I don't really see myself playing any of those. If I was to invest in Nintendo Switch Online, it would definitely be for these games, right? Like give me something close to virtual console.
Yes.
And I feel like as much as I'm probably going to drop some bread on it at some point just to play Ocarina of Time in my hands, um, it's not a reason for me to keep the service and continue to subscribe. I probably get it for a while to play a couple games and move on. Whereas if there was a fuller library that it's well within your power to do. If there was a more full library there, I would have a reason.
Yeah, they're going to be adding more games in the future. They said Majora's Mask is going to come, as well as Banjo Kazooie, Pokemon Snap, Kirby 64, and the Crystal Shards, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, and F Zero X. Those are some good ones. Especially with, I'm surprised by Banjo Kazooie to tell you the truth. Not because it's a seminal N64 game, but the fact that it's owned by Microsoft and they had to pay a license, to get that as part of the service, and money has to go to Microsoft. So it's really interesting that they decided to do that. Um, as far as the other flip side of the coin, Sega Genesis, we got games including Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore Corps, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Fantasy Star 4, Rise Star, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, and Strider. That's some pretty good
A
stuff
lot
right
of good
there.
stuff. I
Yeah.
give him that. There's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah,
Um,
you fucks with the Streets of Rage soundtrack too. I know you do.
Absolutely do. And it's a lot of good. It's a lot of stuff on here with good soundtracks. Like Castlevania, for a fact, it's got just some low key bangers. And then just to be able to play an old school Shinobi, Fantasy Star. Um, I wasn't a big fan of Gunstar Heroes, but I know a lot of people that were. There's a lot of good stuff here, and that's what makes me mad because there's so much more good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm sure that they'll do the thing where they like to drip feed games out. I would hope that it's on a consistent basis. I hope that it's at least on a monthly basis. Where the NES, when they first launched the NES, it was like once a month you're gonna get a drop, and the library is gonna build up over time. And then after that, when they did the Super Nintendo, Nintendo put out a statement saying, "Yeah, we're just gonna drop games whenever we feel like it, and a not consistent rate." And I'm like, well, that's dumb because that
And we
gives
got
them,
N64
yeah,
before we got anything close to a full library for SNES.
yeah, exactly. That's true. So I hope it's not a situation where they're just gonna, half-ass it and not give us the full library. And I would hope that we don't see a situation where like games leave the service because like I would hate like where Banjo Kazooie has to go or whatever. Like that would suck. But
Listen here.
the other,
Um,
oh, what's up?
I know that you at least tried because I've used it for a good chunk of time today just to humor them. I know that you tried like on your Switch. Um, it's super trash. It is more like the one thing that you would think could be done close to flawlessly. I put on my Bluetooth earbuds and I'm playing. What did I play? Tales of Vesperia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running through. On my Switch. That's one of those games that I like to run when I can. And I'm getting like, for one, don't turn off your screen at all because you won't automatically reconnect. You'll have to go through the menu each and every time you want to reconnect.
What the hell?
Um, there's issues where the ears are out of sync. So you might hear your right side and your left side like a couple milliseconds later, but it's very noticeable. It's just, of all things, that should have been implemented perfectly. Of all things, and I'm using that as an example of a pattern. Because half ass is the name of the game with Nintendo Switch software. That's not me saying this is Nintendo. Their first party games have that stamp of approval for a reason. 99.9% of them are very, very technically sound and just as a gamer, pretty fire. But they definitely love being half-assed about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. All right. Finally,
Pokemon. Oh,
finally,
my bad.
finally to round out the NSO expansion, we're going to be getting a Nintendo 64 controller for the Switch, as well as a Sega Genesis controller, and they're Bluetooth, they're wireless, and you don't have to like use a cable or whatever. So they're going to be exclusive to NSO members, so you can order them directly through Nintendo. Pricing and the release dates will be announced at another time. And moving it along, Bayonetta 3. We saw Bayonetta 3 after nearly 4 years after it's revealed. We finally got to see gameplay for the Bayonetta 3, and it's got a release window of 2022. Just like what they did with Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2, she has different hairstyles in both games, and so they did it again in Bayonetta 3. She has another new hairstyle.
I like this one.
So what's kind of interesting is like I noticed that there was a character shadow, a silhouette at the end of the trailer, and I was thinking Devil May Cry. So this IGN article says that there was a character who looked a bit like Virgil, and
A lot like Virgil.
I'm thinking to myself, is this a crossover confirmed or no?
Yeah, that's a fun. This is gonna be fun to speculate on because like, part of me wants to be like, please tell me they made Luca like a cold ass fighter and made him playable. If y'all play Bayonetta, you know what I'm talking about because they do that. Like, I want to see more playable side characters. I love Bayonetta. Don't get me wrong. And I really like what they did here with her design. It's like reminiscent of another character, Cereza. It makes me think about her. Um, and if y'all played through Bayonetta 1 and 2, then you know why that means something. Um, And so, as far as I see it, if this is Virgil, I'm all for it. Um, Absolutely, and please make him playable. Don't just have him as like a demon dude within the story. Even though I can't wait to see it cross over because they had a kid. I can't remember his name in Bayonetta 2, but he had this gold, this chain that was like the Millennium Puzzle almost. I can't call it anything else. And his fighting style was like with cards. And he was basically like if Yugi was a SoundCloud rapper.
What the
And
fuck?
I don't know, maybe I didn't unlock enough stuff to play as him, but I would have loved to, right? And don't get me wrong, in Bayonetta 1 and 2, in Bayonetta 2, it was acceptable not to have other characters because there was enough variety there with her, with the other costumes and stuff, and each one of them having something special about it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, let me get another playable character.
Yeah. Do Sega and Capcom really do they even fuck with each other like that? Like I don't even
Do
know.
they?
I don't even know if they've
I
ever done
mean, Nintendo got
collaborations.
that bread though, so
Nintendo and Capcom do collaborations where like Monster Hunter and Nintendo and Sega have done collaborations like with Sonic and Mario at the Olympics and stuff. But like Sega and Capcom though, I mean Nintendo's the bridge since Nintendo's the publisher. So I guess it's possible. I mean, I would like to see a Dante versus Bayonetta because of Death Battle. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. Especially like, I mean, the games are so similar. It would be nothing to just go ahead. You could port a character over from like DMC3, and I'd be happy.
All right. And speaking of the number three, we got to see Splatoon 3, the gameplay and returns of the Mammalians single player campaign revealed. We got to see a lot of the updated turf war, some new weapons, some cool like little crab like ball thing going on. It looked dope. And Dallas, I mean, are you have you ever tried Splatoon? Like, have you ever played any of them? Any of the games?
I haven't. I haven't. At one point, it looked like something that I planned on getting into at some point. But as time went on, I don't know. I got less and less interested in a squidling unless they were like a character I could fight with. Um, but it looks dope, and I understand why the people that's into the game are into it. But I'm not one of those people.
It's really fun. Like I've played Splatoon like on the Wii U and Splatoon 2 on the Switch, and it's like it's kind of like baby's first like shooter kind of thing. Like and Nintendo has this way of taking these mechanics and sort of simplifying them and Nintendofying them, where like they're very
We're not
yeah.
shooting people.
Yeah, we're not shooting people. We're not violent. You know what I mean? It makes it.
Mhm.
It's a what is it called? A paint. What's it? A paint gun fight. Like whatever you call it, paintball fight kind of thing. So it makes it
Mhm.
like very easily and easy to show to parents and stuff like that. And you don't die. You get splatted and you immediately respawn. You just get sent back to the beginning of the level. So I think that's really cool. And I think that this is sort of like an evolution where it's like I think with Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2, there were some questions about whether or not it was a sequel. I think they sort of got laid to rest with the expansions. But like with this game specifically, what they showed for Splatoon 3, from like vanilla Splatoon 3, it looks like it's a full on evolution of just adding like these new weapons and gears and stuff like that wasn't done in Splatoon 2. So I for one am pretty excited. So uh, I don't really too much care about a Monster Hunter expansion. I mean, I saw it. I don't really have anything to say. Did you?
I usually do. I mean, good for them. I didn't pick up Monster Hunter Rise, but I did really enjoy it. I do really think it's pretty dope, and at some point I'll spend my own money on it. If y'all know, like one of my first, like I think my second Funko video was on Monster Hunter Rise, and I gave it high praise for what they did with it. And there's a couple more mechanics that I guess that they're going to be adding to the game. And so I'm with that. My only gripe with Monster Hunter Rise, if I'm being completely honest, is the fact that it's not on any like dedicated console.
Yeah,
I feel like it deserves a lot more than just a Switch exclusive.
yeah. Like the Switch's lack of horsepower is holding it back at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm rooting for it because Monster Hunter Rise is really a good game.
Okay. The next two things is we have announcements of announcements. Uh, Smash Ultimate's final DLC, the fighter will be revealed on October 5th with a Sakurai Presents presentation where they will reveal the character and then Sakurai will actually explain how the character works and how he fights and everything like that. What's really interesting about the fact that It's happening on October 5th. And also, it's gonna be happening first thing in the morning for me. It's like I think it's gonna be at like 9 a.m. for me in the morning. So, uh, what's really interesting about the fact that they chose that specific date to do the presentation is that October 5th is the day that Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl comes out.
Mm.
So it's kind of funny. It's almost kind of like "fuck you" kind of thing because Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl has been taking a lot of like the market share and like the mind share with when I'm looking, I'm very in tune with the Smash community, and everyone's like ready, hyped and ready to leave Smash Bros and start playing Nickelodeon. And so like I feel like this is like an interesting like a power grab or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it's you pick that day to do your
You might have a
presentation,
point.
team. You know, so
You don't think Sakurai is that type of person? He put all his blood, sweat, and tears into this. Like he is Smash, right?
yeah,
Um, I don't know. Maybe
it could be a Nintendo.
or
Yeah.
or it's Nintendo and that extra characters like SpongeBob or something.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, man, I will only be happy if the last character is like one of four characters. It needs to either be Master Chief, Fortnite Jonesy, Crash Bandicoot, or Waluigi. If it's not one of those
Mm.
four, okay, maybe I'll give him Sora too. Sora, okay. If it's not one of those five, then I would be upset. To tell you the truth.
I see that Waluigi. Or like a random Fortnite character, or yeah, Waluigi makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a curveball, and that won't be the case. And it'll be like a Waluigi, me costume or something, right next to either like SpongeBob or Master Chief, or well, Crash
Honest,
Bandicoot makes some sense though.
yeah. I honestly, out of the five that I listed, I want Master Chief the most to be the final character.
I'd
Yeah,
be with that.
yeah. Who do you predict or who do you want the most?
I really want like one of those big mascots. So Crash Bandicoot never crossed my mind. I was thinking maybe Kratos. Um,
Mm,
but Crash is probably a better choice for Smash.
yeah,
Um,
he fits within
and
the motif kind of thing. Yeah.
he does. It would be perfect. And Master Chief, now that we gotten all these other characters that fit that mold, I kind of want him now more than Crash.
Hmm.
No, no, there's one more that I think would be more than perfect. Um, Ratchet and Clank as one character,
Damn, that's actually pretty dope. I wouldn't mind that either. See, here's the
like a
thing.
banjo
Here's the
type
thing.
character.
Between the five characters that I listed, that's a whole nother season pass right there. I really wish that they weren't ending development. I would prefer to do a third season so I can get all of those characters. You
What do
know,
you think? Okay, so while we're talking about this game and saying that not Nintendo, Nickelodeon probably is snatching that mind
mind
share
share.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Do you think that there's going to be another Nintendo flagship fighter? And if so, what do you think that would be? Like a new IP or something using these characters?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't think they would do another fighting game character or another fighting game with like Mario and another fighting game. To tell you the truth, Nintendo's
That's what
very
they don't have.
Nintendo's very
Like,
big on like their brand management. So I don't they didn't like the idea of Mario fighting or throwing a punch. So like they had to make the first Smash 64 in secret, away from like the big heads at Nintendo. Which I think I need to write a history lesson of like the Smash
oh, please
for
do.
level one gaming because it's like a book. It would have to be broken up into parts.
Or if you want to do a video, we can get together. Let's talk about it.
I think that's like I would probably have to do that with Hugger because that's a cogs in a machine episode right there with their 4 hour
It is.
podcasts.
It is.
But that being said, though, yeah, like I said, like I just any one of those five characters, and I'm like, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like to tell you the truth, the fact that it's coming to an end is just disappointing. To tell you the truth, like it's just like Nintendo directs and these Smash reveals and stuff like that. Like for
Are
me brings so
synonymous at
much
this point.
hype that now knowing that there's not going to be any more character reveals or whatever like that, the Nintendo directs are going to are now going to slow like slump down in hype for me, like anticipation. So
Mm.
yeah. Anyways, as far as the other announcement, Animal Crossing is finally getting some more content, and they're going to talk to you about that content later on next month when there's going to be an Animal Crossing direct. So
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm just being a ball. Like, but
I mean, I'm not an Animal Crossing person. I think Dan, he's played it, so he could be more. He would be more about that. But actually, I don't even think he actually played the game that much. I think his wife Leah played it more than him. Next up is Mario Party Superstars, and we see the return of Woody Woods, Yoshi's Tropical Island, and Horrorlands. So those are the boards. Those are the name of the game boards.
yeah,
We saw like a lot of explanation about like the game. Saw like there's gonna be multiplayer, online multiplayer, mini game mode, and all this other stuff. So, whatever. Now here's the thing that was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Shigeru Miyamoto came in to the broadcast and he was talking about like the Mario news and stuff like that. So Mario was getting a movie. We've known about that. It's gonna be from Illumination, the guys that made the Despicable Me franchise. And he finally announced the casting of who's playing who. Now, I'm not gonna
this is
lie,
interesting.
I was just like my mind was just like mind boggled. Like my reaction was disbelief. Like I was like in a deer in the headlights when I was seeing these announcements with these characters,
Like,
these
oh, this is a
casts.
movie.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know if I like this casting. Like, okay,
No?
Chris Pratt will play Mario. Okay,
Okay, that's the question mark. That's the big like you play that Metal Gear sound again. That's that the
yeah.
exclamation point. Because Chris Pratt, but
There we
I'm
go.
willing to give it a
There
chance.
we go. There, that's the
Yeah,
one.
I can in my Soldier Boy voice, Chris Pratt. Like, but I'm willing to see. I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm willing to at least give it until the first time I hear Mario speak. Um,
Like I can't imagine
but
Star Lord's voice being Mario.
yeah,
Like
I
I mean,
mean,
I would tell you
I
this.
look.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. He was what's that guy's name in the Lego movie when Chris Pratt played the character? Like
What was his
it's
name?
not there was Wild Style and Chris Pratt's character. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember, but whatever. Anyways, like Chris Pratt's character in that, like I guess he makes sense because like I think he has like the voice acting chops because he's sort of like he wasn't quite Star Lord when he was doing that, but he was sort of
Oh yeah,
doing
he was
his
far from the real Star
yeah,
Lord.
he was sort of doing his voice, but like tone it down to make it more like evenly keeled, which I appreciated, and it works for the character. So in my head, if I were to take the Lego movie, like and sort of just insert that into Mario, maybe, but even
Here's the
then, like
question though.
I don't know.
Here's the question, because I can see Charlie Day being Luigi, right?
No, I could see him being
Like,
a Wario more than a
not saying
Luigi.
I see him being Luigi. I see that he is Luigi in the movie.
Okay,
Um, okay, but are they going to have them do these fake Italian accents? For one, is
that's
that going to be a thing?
spaghetti.
Because
Yeah.
for two, if you look at them together, you can see like if somebody was roasting them standing next to each other, you can be like, oh, Mario and Luigi had that. Like I can see that. Like I can see him being the Luigi to Chris Pratt's Mario. That could make sense on another level, but there's other things here that I feel like make sense. Um, for example, going down, the cast list, Seth Rogen being Donkey Kong. Why? How is that not perfect?
Yeah, he's doing. I just can't. I don't want to hear Donkey Kong doing the Seth Rogen giggle like, like I can't do the Seth Rogen giggle. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah,
I can't
I can't do his
I
voice,
can't do
but
it
yeah,
either.
I
But you
think
know
that's
what we're talking
perfect.
about. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
like you
first.
have Donkey Kong like, yo, y'all got some bananas.
So yeah, like I just like Seth Rogen doing that. Like that's the first thing I thought of whenever they said like Seth Rogen for Donkey Kong. It was like his
Mhm.
laugh, his giggle, whatever. Like yeah, Jack Black. I agree with Jack Black for Bowser simply because he can literally pull it off. I can see him like Jack Black is the kind of person that when he does a role he commits. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
he can go. I can see him going like bombastic and just really going for it. So like that one I'm okay with. Anya Taylor Joy as Peach, okay, whatever. She can be soft spoken. It doesn't really matter. But Charlie Day
She
though,
can act
like,
her ass off though.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
Charlie Day though, like, The thing about like Charlie Day is like when I think about like Charlie Day, I think of like horrible bosses and he's like his neuroses and stuff, his characters. So like I can't see which I get yeah, Luigi has some neuroses, like don't get me wrong, but like I just can't like I just I just envision like an exaggerated versions and I don't think it works for me in my head, in my I don't know. I don't think I s-
That's a little range then, because I see Charlie Day. As a person, I see him as his character in New Girl. If you ever seen that show,
mm.
um, I see him as that character. So I don't know. I don't know what it is that makes sense about that to me, but I could put those together. Like I don't really
Can you
think.
can you really take Charlie Day seriously as a scientist in Pacific Rim?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely, absolutely not.
See, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, as far as Keegan Michael Key for Toad, sure, I guess. It sounds like they're gonna like again. It just doesn't. I just don't hear him being Toad because like Toad is like he's got like the squeaky voice and just sort of like I don't know, chill. And it feels like they're gonna put some like I don't know some edge to him that was not there in the games. Like I don't know. Yeah,
I
but at
think
least
everybody's gonna have like a little edge. I think as long as they don't make him Mushu and Mulan, you know what I mean? Like as long as they don't make him Eddie Murphy or Eddie Murphy parody,
yeah, I think they're
I'd be
gonna do
with it.
that. I think they're gonna do that. Tell you the
Because they
truth.
had all of them not really speaking for so long or not really having defined voices for so long. Like I remember Mario's voice from like Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Hmm.
That's what I hear in my head. But for this type of movie, I would hope. Once again, we just gave a whole speech about Nintendo being half-assed about a lot of stuff. But I would hope with this much time, effort, and money going into this project, um, that they know that they can't really afford a 2020, whenever 2022 version of the John Leguizamo Mario, um, because they took a great actor, like somebody that
Bob
could really
Hoskins.
pull
Yeah.
off. Like took a few great actors, but if I'm looking at John Leguizamo himself, this is the man that pulled off the Violator and Spawn and was the best thing about that movie. Like the thing that you could take seriously the most, and he played a clown. So like I don't know, with all the actors that they have here, I'm hoping that they picked them for a reason and that they are having them kind of play to their strengths in this movie. And there's a lot of good funny people here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who do comedy really well, and I'm hoping they let them lean into that. But vocally, what's the level of camp that you're going for as far as accents go? What's the level of like voice manipulation? Or are we going to get a little a little change? Like Donkey Kong is the only person here that I can see without 1 ounce of manipulation to his voice that fits perfectly.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
And they got Fred
but
Armisen from Saturday Night Live to be Cranky Kong.
it's like who it's just who's directing this? Do you know?
I don't know. They
'Cause
said
that's
there
gonna make a big
they
difference.
said the guy's name, but I think it was I don't know if he was a producer, but they basically he was part of like the Despicable Me franchise, and also of course Shigeru Miyamoto is overseeing seeing it. He's get like he approves a lot of stuff. So, but it's gonna be coming in
I don't
theaters
know. I feel like
next year on December 21st, 2022. So
they made Batista a perfect character, like play a perfect character. They gave Vin Diesel the most perfect character they could have given him, and all he ever says is "I am Groot." Um, like I mean, not them, but it happened in a movie.
yeah.
There's examples of these things happening. Um, and I'm wondering if they just going to go in a direction, directing wise. Funny that I use that word, to make this land.
Hmm. Well, at least they got Charles Martinet to do various voices. He's going to be in the movie as special characters, maybe multiple characters. So it's just really interesting because like I would have, in my opinion, I think I would have had just had Charles Martinet be Mario and Luigi and him do like the wahoo and like all the
The
yeah
whole
his the
the
whole
whole
thing
movie.
so whatever. Um, as far as Knights of the Old Republic, you talked about KOTOR earlier in the show. Well, it's getting ported. The Xbox OG Xbox game is getting ported to the Switch, and I like how they're getting the port in just before they do the remake, or they after they announce the remake and stuff like that. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
coming out on my birthday actually, November 11th, 2021. You'll be able to play it on Switch. Never played a KOTOR game, by the way. So, yeah. And
Depends on how much you like RPGs, like old school RPGs, whether or not you should play it.
Castlevania Advance Collection. It's bringing the four classic games for the Game Boy Advance out to the Switch, and it's out today. They stealth dropped it. I was in the original rundown of the show. I actually had an extra news segment talking about where like Castlevania Advance Collection was rated by a ratings board and stuff like that. Because it was never announced. This game was never officially announced in any capacity, but it was rumored and stuff like that. So
Mm.
not only did you get the announcement, but it's like it's out today, like that kind of stuff. So that's cool.
Good job, Nintendo.
So let's see. There's some. I guess I never heard of ActRaiser, but it's getting remastered. It's called ActRaiser Renaissance. It's a classic Super Nintendo game, and it's gonna have like, I guess, I guess it's known for its soundtrack. Apparently, I never heard of this. I've never heard of this game, but it's got a new
You know what that
rearranged.
means? I have to do.
You're gonna do it for the for Peep Game. You got
I'm gonna
to.
have to now.
Project Triangle Strategy is now called Triangle Strategy. So that's exactly what they did with Project Octopath Traveler. They just called it Octopath Traveler. So I think I even said it on a previous podcast where it's like, it's just going to be called Triangle Strategy. And then
On
lo
the
and
nose.
behold, here it is. Coming out on March 2022, there was a demo released earlier back in February, and the developers took the notes that were taken away from the demo, and they made all the improvements that were given as far as the feedback goes. So it looks like
Did you
it's really
play it?
good. No, I
Did you play that
didn't.
demo?
No, I didn't. Did you?
It was good.
Oh
It
shit.
was good. Um, and if they are taking that feedback, I think this is going to do just as good, if not better, than Octopad. Because I think, not I think, I should hope that they put a lot more focus on the story because that's the one place that everybody says Octopad fell short. So yeah, this might actually be pretty fire.
Yeah. And then next up is the Metroid Dread. We got an extended trailer, story trailer. It's literally coming out in 2 weeks, October 8th, alongside the
This is
Nintendo
for
Switch
me.
OLED.
This is
Uh,
for me.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you this right now. And seeing that gameplay was dope as hell. It looked fluid. Like the animation looked like 60 frames. It looked very like an evolution of 2D Metroid, like we've never had it before. It sort of takes what was happening in the 3DS and they just ran with it. So it almost kind of feels like the 3DS remake of like Metroid Samus Returns, I think, or Return of Samus. I don't know. It feels like they just sort of were just cutting their teeth, and then they just sort of improved on their systems and mechanics and stuff like that here on this game.
It's very hard to make a bad Metroid game. I think at this point, I don't think you have to try to make a bad Metroid game, especially a 2D one. I was a little iffy on like having a whole lot of stealth and a whole lot of chase and stuff like that. But Metroid is really good with the tension. Like I'm a Metroid fan, and
Mm-hmm.
Metroid is really good with the tension. And this seems to be playing off of a lot of what they did in Metroid Fusion. So in the case of like the stealth, I wasn't super gung ho when I saw the first trailer, but I'm now compelled to like in remembering a scene from Metroid Fusion where you ended up kind of hiding. I'm compelled to remember a couple like pieces where you ended up running where there was a small, very small chase, and the tension that I felt during that time and how it just kind of like it kind of grabbed my heart and yanked it a little bit. So I wholly expect Metroid Dread to be freaking amazing, and it's an absolute day one for me.
Yep, ditto. Mario Golf is getting a new update today, and you can get new characters like Koopa Troopa and Ninja, and some new courses. Delta Rune Chapter 2 is making its way to Switch today, so I think that was a stealth drop. It was already released last week, and I covered that on new releases. There's also going to be a new Mario Kart game, but not by Nintendo. It's called Chocobo GP, which is a Final Fantasy kart racing spinoff, and it's coming to the Switch next year in 2022. It literally
Mhm.
looks like Mario Kart, like straight up.
Yeah,
Like,
it's definitely like it looks like great value Mario Kart. Um,
damn.
and I on paper I like looking at it, I don't want it,
Oh.
but on paper I should be in love with it
Hmm.
because I love Final Fantasy. I'm a Final Fantasy fan. It looks so like I don't know. It looks I don't want to call it ugly, but eh. But from how they describe it and the mechanics that they talking about, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll pick it up on the sale.
it's got the power ups and stuff like that, like where you sort of like drive through like item boxes and stuff like that from Mario Kart. But what's really interesting is like it's gonna be exclusive to the Switch, which I think is like the wrong move here. I think it's the wrong play, and here's why. Nintendo Switch already has Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You're competing, and it makes sense. By the way, it makes sense to be on the Switch because kart racers would do well on a Nintendo platform. However, PlayStation and Xbox don't really have kart racers like that. They have Crash Team Racing, and that's about it. You know what I mean? So I feel like
Yeah, there's a void there.
you'd be filling in a void if you were to go there and be multiplat. You can be on the Switch. You just can't not just be exclusively on the Switch. I think that that's the wrong move here. Or I don't know. What do you
Imagine
think?
how amazing this will be on the PS5 and the Series X. This
Yes.
would look freaking beautiful. And yeah, it is absolutely a missed opportunity. I'm big on Final Fantasy. There's very few Final Fantasy games that I haven't given a chance, and it does feel like a missed opportunity for them not to publish this on multiple platforms.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. We saw some other stuff here, like Hyrule Warriors expansion, Disco Elysium, the port or the port. We see Disney Magical World 2, which I believe is a 3DS like remaster, remake, or something like that. But basically, the rest of these announcements are sort of so-so. But overall, we just covered pretty much the entire thing, almost like beat for beat. So just overall, like how would you rate this if this was like an E3 conference out of a 10?
Oh man, it would be pretty low on the scale.
Oh,
Um,
damn.
it would be pretty. I'd rate it kind of in the middle because most of what was announced was so. Um, but I'm really happy about Bayonetta 3. It looks like exactly what I expect, only cranked up a little bit. So I'm interested in what that story will be. I mean, it's never much deeper than you would expect Devil May Cry to be, but I'm hyped about Bayonetta. And it was a day one. Bayonetta 2 was a day one for me on Switch. Played Bayonetta 1 right before and just kind of ran through both of them. And they good games to revisit exactly as Devil May Cry. That genre is my genre. That single player character action game. Top three favorite genres of mine. So that's a point for me. Metroid Dread, just being able to see more Metroid Dread is a point for me. That card game, I don't remember what it was called.
It was called.
Um,
Let me see here. I actually literally just scrolled right past it. It's called Voice of Cards: The Isle Dragon Roars.
yeah, but it was a little more than mid. I'd probably give it a six. Um, but 5.5, six, something like that, because it was mostly mid. But I didn't fall asleep. I was pretty interested in a lot of saw, or a couple things that I saw.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I think like I could have given it like an 8 or a 9 if they had actually just announced who the Smash character is, just to like feed the hype. But as far as like the reason I give it a 7 is because I'm sort of like a lot of these announcements are sort of speaking to me. Like as much as I would bitch, I'm gonna fork over money for to Nintendo for like the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis stuff, and then not play the games. Just to add insult to injury. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm big on. I like Splatoon 3. I like Bayonetta 3. Those got my attention. Those are day ones for me. I'm obviously gonna be tuning in for the Smash Direct, and then I'm also gonna, uh, I might just buy Kodor, just because I kind of want to check it out kind of thing. So yeah, overall
Be
like
warned.
yeah, and then
Be
also of course
warned.
day one, of course, is Metroid Dread. So it's like there's a lot of day ones for me on there. So for me, like it just sort of anything less than a 7 would not would be wrong, I guess, in my book.
Anything else is uncivilized.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley.
So yeah, damn, we've been on this topic for we've been on the podcast for an hour, so who knows how much of that hour was dedicated to just this one IGN article. But that's pretty much like the heart of the show, anyways. So we'll go ahead and keep it pushing to the next topic, which is going to be about the some restock that happened here. So actually, before we move on, let me just interrupt myself here, and I just went ahead and looked at the background gameplay over here. I was right about the tier list. I guess tier lists even matter even on CPU battles because Mewtwo is out here getting clap like big time. The current stock
Oh
count is
man.
60 for Marth, 32 for Mewtwo. It would
Oh
have to be a
man.
miracle for Mewtwo to win this game.
Oh man.
So, damn, they really did not do a good job of programming Mewtwo in this game. Just want to say.
Wasn't he the one that said it depends? I mean, it is what you do with the gift of life. He ain't doing shit with it.
You know what's kind of fucked up is like I remember when I was playing Mewtwo and when I first played Melee for the first time, and I was thinking to myself, man, Mewtwo kind of sucks. And I was like, when I was trying to play him, and I'm thinking to myself, he's supposed to be like one of the most powerful Pokemon in Gen One. He's like legendary and all that shit, badass stats. But then they made him trash. I don't think he was ever good in any Smash game until Smash Four. So, but
Mm.
anyways, yeah, and then they nerfed him for Smash Ultimate. All right, so moving it along. Best Buy had a restock of PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X's, and they were done like the restock was literally like this morning, the day of recording. So, Tech Radar they reported exclusively about the PS5 and Xbox Series X Best Buy in store restocks. These were not online, and I believe this, other than like GameStop, I think this might be the first time a retailer actually got them in stores. So this was like a sort of like a report talking about like sort of like updating like as it goes, and they were talking about they were confirmed that the restock was literally today at like 7:30 a.m. local time for them. They had like a stock tracker, and basically we were seeing like signs that they were have anywhere between 50 to 100 like PlayStation 5s like shipped to them in stores, and so people were like lining up to like the night before, like last night, to be the ones to get the Best Buy or to get the PS5 at the Best Buys. So I'm glad I didn't have to worry about that. Like to tell you the truth, like I don't want to use up sick time to go and buy a PS5. Like that would have sucked for me. I'm glad I already have one. But Dallas did you actually know about the restock? And if you did, would you have gone out of your way to do this?
No, I didn't. I did not know. Had I known, yeah, I probably would have gone out of my way because and I'm not even gonna lie to you, I really want a PS5. I can probably get by with my Xbox One X right now. I could probably get by with that at the moment. I don't know, maybe I'd want something a little better for Halo Infinite, but I'm in a position right now where I'm going to have to choose one for now. So it probably would have been that PS5 because I would need a few of those games.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. I feel like in the case of PlayStation in particular, they are really, it's nice to see them in stores and to see that they didn't just drop them online.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing maybe they just want us to have an opportunity to get one before they remotely brick our PS4s. I'm calling it now. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, we actually have a story later on in the doc here that's it goes to the contrary about breaking the PS4s.
Mm.
But anyways, yeah. So apparently the process for getting a PS5 is you wait in line Thursday morning, which was this morning, outside of a Best Buy, and the Best Buy managers will hand out paper tickets until they run out. Tickets will be handed out between 7 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. local time, and so it says here's beware of line jumpers, which are resellers. We've witnessed 20 line jumpers, right, as Best Buy employees distributed NVIDIA GPU tickets in New York City. Damn. Only a select number of Best Buy stores, I think flagship stores, will have inventory. So don't go to the wrong store. And they have a list of stores that were out on Wednesday night. So yeah, like it was actually interesting the fact that they had like 50 PS5s and 50 Xbox Series X's in stock and stuff. I think that's awesome. Like there's no you have to actually like physically be present, be there early, sleep there overnight. I think that's like the old school way of doing things versus like, queuing up at exactly 2 p.m. Time and like right at 2 p.m. and 00.000, like just to, I think that's like the worst. And like that was so like before I ended up caving and buying my PS5, like I was trying to buy it legitimately through like the drops, and every time I try to do a drop, most times it wouldn't even let me add it to the cart. So, at least,
Freaking noobs.
yeah, at least this one was, you know, this one was more manageable, and I would like to see Walmart's and Targets and all the stores start like having them on the shelves.
Give us a fair shake.
Yeah, exactly. So yay, yay for restock. Um, Next up is the let's see. Okay, controversy. Wata certified copy of Sonic the Hedgehog sells for a record price. So there was an update that says our customers trust us, says the auction company founder, responding to Yuji Naka. So Yuji Naka, he literally, I think he was the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, I want to say, and we tweeted out saying, "Oh, is this a scam?" That's what he said. So here we can actually see the image of the Sonic the Hedgehog that was WADA certified 9.4. Now it is a high rating. Okay, there's no such thing as a 10.0. But you know what's kind of interesting about this? If you can see this image on the screen, you can actually see here that the plastic is peeling here at the top as well as the bottom. So you can see like there's some damage and there's like a little cut here, like a this like cut
That's
straight up.
somebody's childhood copy.
Yeah. So what's really like the plastic is not in mint condition. Like a 9.4 is supposed to be like close to mint, like out of the factory kind of thing. This looks like it's got some scuffs and damage to it. I would not rate it anywhere. 7 would be generous, in my opinion. And I don't know how to rate games. From a,
How much did it sell for again?
It sold. Let's pull it up here. Scrolling. Okay, $430,500.
Oh no, that better have been the only working copy. That better have been the only copy that actually works when you pop it in.
Yeah. So true story. So let's see here. The PR firm Golden Solutions, representative of both Golden Auctions, the seller of the Sonic game and grading company Wata, has contacted us to highlight the replies of the Golden Auction founders, Ken Golden to Yuji Naka, in a Twitter thread. The executive chairman of Golden Auctions, which earlier this year was purchased by Collector Holdings, owners of Collector's Universe, sought to reassure Naka that the sale wasn't a scam, as a Sonic creator and many others have suggested. So yeah, Yuji Naka is the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. He says, he put in his Twitter, "What is this?" And then he's tweeting like a quote tweeting the final price. It's also is the record for the highest selling Sega Genesis game as well, just of all Sega Genesis, all Sega Genesis games. And he says, and then there's like a tweet where he says like a Twitter thread where he says, "Naka-san, we can assure you this is a genuine sale to a real buyer on Golden. Our customers trust us because all of our auctions are fair and for authentic items. We also vet our bidders on high-end items such as this." So here's the original story. A copy of the original Sonic the Hedgehog game for the Sega Genesis has been sold for a record-breaking sale price of $430 or $430,500. This isn't just a new record for Sonic game either; it's also an all-time record for the sale of the Sega Genesis title. This graded game was WATA certified, as you might recall. WATA is one of the grading companies that has been previously under fire for allegedly manipulating the retro video game market. Just recently, for example, co-founder was accused of selling the company's games under a different alias on eBay. So basically, he wrote on the Twitter replies, "Is this a scam? This is a scam, right? I wondered if it was time for Sonic to reach a high." So of course, many
Show me
responses on
somebody that's surprised.
of course, many responses on social media were quick to link the Carl Jobst YouTube video and followed up stories on the graded games market in the recent times. It's not just Sonic we're seeing with this. Back in August, a copy of the original Super Mario Brothers for the NES sold for a record $2 million. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, as you can see, this is it's a video here about exposing the fraud and deception. It was like a 45-minute video. It's like an expose about how they are scammers and they're like manipulating the price. Like TLDR, the guy who owns the website that's the auction site is also the guy that is a chairman on WATA, and so he's basically overinflating the grading on these retro games, as you can see with this Sonic the Hedgehog that shouldn't be a 9.4. He's making he's boosting it up and he's like inflating the value and he's selling it for a pretty penny and making out like bandits. So
Of course.
yeah,
Actual bandit, a real life bandit.
so yeah. Did you hear about this Wata's controversy prior to this, or what are your thoughts on this?
This is like a Lupin the third level heist right now. Like, I mean, I'm sure, and I said Lupin because Nicolas Cage would never. Like for real. I mean, it's crazy that it's so blatant. It's crazy that it's so like blatant, and you could at least nah, forget that.
This is
Forget.
some
I'm not even
Ocean's
going
11.
going down a list of
This
what
is
you
some
call it.
Ocean's 11 shit right now, man. Like
For
cat
real.
burglar, perfect crime. I don't know.
Like I'm hanging upside down from like a wire and from the ceiling type stuff. It's just like you spray the can and you can see the lasers type stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like that's the level of value that they actually placing on this copy of this game right now. And
and this
it's
doesn't.
crazy.
Yeah, this doesn't look that valuable, by the way. Just looking at it. So
See, this is what they tell you. This is what they talk about on YouTube when they talk about side hustles and how you can turn $500 into 5,000. This is it exactly. Those people that call you, that Nigerian prince, and all of those people that ask you to send you money, they're actually legit for the most part, and this is what they do. This is how they get that money.
$500 million for a Sega Genesis game. I don't even know if is any Sega Genesis game, regardless of like the condition, is it worth half a mil?
I don't think it's not yet. Not yet. I mean, I feel like Sonic would get there in another
What's the thing?
50
The thing
years.
about yeah, but that's the thing. Like the thing about Sonic the Hedgehog is that it was mass produced. There's like it's not a limited quantity. It's like a common game. Like I think the games that had like low production runs, those have the benefit of being expensive because they're so supply and demand kind of thing. So
Man,
yeah, like I would
they
never.
need to get like WWE and get the F out.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. I think I'm gonna keep an eye on this kind of story because I'm pretty sure someone's gonna get arrested and we're gonna have to report on this. Like I swear. Um, as
It's
far
gonna be
as
so funny.
like the PS5 thing, there was a we talked about on last week's show that there was a patch that enabled the how do you call it the SSD to be changed out, and the PS4 also got a similar patch as well. Like it got version 9.0 firmware, 9.0.0 firmware, and apparently Modern Vintage Gamer, MVG for short, he confirmed that the CMOS or like as it's commonly referred to as the CBomb, the PS4 CBomb issue has been
Never mind.
fixed, and he tested it on a few games, and it's clear, it's working. So he took the PS4, he played it on offline mode, and basically when he popped a trophy, the trophy doesn't have a date on it. So basically you can
Hmm.
play games and the C what is it called, the C battery? It's like a circular battery that has an internal timer. When it dies, it won't crash or it won't make your PS4 into a paperweight anymore. So I think that's cool. Are you surprised?
I am a
I
little
am
bit,
too.
yeah.
I am too because I didn't think Sony would do that. I don't think Sony. I never considered Sony to be a homie like that. So
I'm actually partially more surprised that you are enough of a psychopath to not scroll Twitter in dark mode. Uh, a little more surprised, but
yeah.
just barely.
Okay.
Damn. Okay, somebody actually cares.
Yeah, I get enough flack for that, by the way. Yeah, but I don't like dark mode Twitter. Um, but
That's its
yes.
secret. It's always in dark mode.
So yeah, I mean, like, hey, look, I feel like this is a bit of an extra. I don't know what's a harp on or whatever, but like just in general, like I'm surprised we made a whole like topic about this like a couple episodes ago. I don't know when, but honestly, to tell you the truth, like it just kind of goes to show whenever like consumers bitch and like the companies will listen. Everyone except for Nintendo, because Nintendo don't give a fuck,
At
But
all.
Nintendo is like the
It's because
mafia. You could do you. Yeah, they're gonna tell you capiche, and you're gonna say okay. You're gonna nod your head.
yeah,
So
you'd be like, "Hey, Nintendo, could we please could we please fix your Bluetooth audio support? So you come to me on this, the day of my daughter's wedding. And I'm like, you kind of feel bad for asking. You feel bad for asking at that point because they bring up and she was a preemie when she was born. And going through the whole story of like absolutely nothing just to make you feel bad about asking for something that should be standard.
uh, all right, I'm gonna
That was
go
a
ahead.
fun, like made up scenario. I
I
feel like that
know
should be a
you
video.
went all Godfather with that on that one. Next up is the extra news. We're just gonna read you guys the headlines, and we just sort of react to whatever we want to talk about. We don't have to talk about everything; just talk about what we want. So, number one, Tales of Arise sells 1 million copies, and it's making it the highest-selling game in the series. Number two, rumor: Quantic Dream is working on a Star Wars title. Number three, Yuji Naka is making a mobile game after leaving Square Enix, and he's learning some coding. Number four, Apple has blacklisted Fortnite off of the App Store until all of the appeals process is exhausted. So it could take about 5 years. Number five, the Nintendo Switch OLED is on display at the Nintendo Store in Japan right now, and images of it have surfaced online. Okay, whatever. We've already have images, but whatever. Like official promotional images. Number six, Project Deluge, which is an archiving project, has released 349 OG Xbox games prototypes, as well as 135 Sega Dreamcast prototypes, many of which were unannounced or unreleased games. One of the release materials is a prototype of Sega GT, which is a racing game for the Dreamcast, and it featured Luigi. And I'm gonna pull up the actual image here up on screen, but this is like literally the actual like model that they showed, and I'm like, what the hell? You have yourself on mute, by the way.
I said that definitely looked like a mod.
So yeah, like I guess I mean it was a
This was
prototype. I'm guessing it was like a placeholder asset, or it wasn't supposed to be in the final release. But it's kind of funny. I just thought that was hilarious.
ended
That
up being fan made in dreams.
next up, number seven, Alan Wake remastered has been rated for the Switch. I bet you it's gonna be a cloud version. I guess that's my. I don't know. Actually, no. I take that back. Why? Okay, could you just port the Xbox 360 version and call it remastered? Because it could run natively.
You could.
It could run natively. So there you go.
They
Number
would
number.
because
Uh,
the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster, like 3 in Liberation, it runs worse than the PS3 version. So, and they called that remastered.
there you go. Number eight, an update to last week's story. The secret FCC filing will be made public on September 24th. That's really old news at this point, actually. I should have taken that out because the FCC filing probably had to do with the N64 controller or the Sega Genesis controller. That they were so now that it's public now, it doesn't matter that it's gonna be made public today on the day we drop this episode. And finally, the roundup. Sega's latest RPG is a mobile game, and it will be further revealed at the Tokyo Game Show. Currently the title is in Japanese on this website. Next up, Pokemon Trading Card Live has been announced. So the trading card game is now going to be a thing. And then finally, Disney Classic Games Collections announced for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. They're coming this fall and will feature The Lion King, both versions of Aladdin, because the last time it was only just the Genesis version. And it will also have the Jungle Book. So it sucks that I already have that game, or like the two game collection. I gotta buy it again. But Dallas, what do you want to react to?
Let's see. There's a couple. For one, I already said this, and this is all I'm gonna say pretty much on the matter. But Tales of Arise selling 1 million copies, this fast, good on you. For one, for two, you deserve it. For three, because the Tales games were already damn near masterpieces as they were, right? Tales games were already really good games. Um, and yeah, I'm biased, but whatever. But to see what they started to do with Arise, and mind you, I haven't dived in yet because when I dive into Tales of Arise, I fully expect to literally be playing nothing but that. So I at least want to beat one of these games that I'm in the process of playing now before I get onto it. But um, they deserve their flowers. because they when they came with Arise, they really upgraded it. And I did play the demo. I did get a chance to hop into the combat, and the jump from that to the current Tales game that I'm playing, Vesperia, vast. It's a major difference, and I really didn't have an issue with the combat in those games beforehand, but now like it feels aged by comparison, so they deserve it.
Yeah, it says here in the article that it says it's the first game in the franchise to be released on console in 5 years. So Tales of Berseria was on the PS3 and PS4, and now here it is selling a million copies. Maybe we'll get the success of this game will allow for them to make like remasters of the older games. Maybe.
Hell yeah, if we can get Tales of Symphonia remastered, my god.
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised. I hear that one talked about the most, Tales of Symphonia, as like I honestly thought that that was like the premier game in the franchise, or am I wrong?
Yeah, well, it's the first I played. It's probably the most popular.
Okay,
um
not anymore.
yeah, no more for real.
Yeah.
um
As far as
Quantic Dream.
my thinking about the rumor about the Quantic Dream making Star Wars, I honestly am a little. I wouldn't mind a Quantic Dream like Detroit Become Human kind of style gameplay of a Star Wars game. I think that would make where that works for it. Don't get me wrong. I would actually be kind of hyped for it, low key. But I'm more like shocked to tell you the truth because if this rumor is holds any water, that means that EA no longer has the exclusive stranglehold on making Star Wars games.
Oh yeah, I
So
thought that was already
wait, I take
I
that back. Yeah, you're right. You know what? But because of Kodor, I forgot about the Kodor
mm,
remake. So yeah,
yeah.
you know what? You're right. When did that lapse? By the way, did that was that publicly ever said like, oh yeah, it's
um
lapsed?
I know for a fact we talked about it on podcast at some, even if it was just in passing, we talked about it, but I cannot remember when.
Okay.
Um, but Quantic Dream. Okay, so let's start here.
Okay.
I'm not really going in depth with all of these. I really don't have much to say about a lot of them,
Okay.
but a couple of these, this one in particular, Quantic Dream. You talking to a person that's been playing their games since Indigo Prophecy,
Damn.
Fahrenheit for those people across the pond. I've been playing like the OG Xbox around the time I was playing KOTOR, around the time I was playing Ninja Gaiden and whatever else I was playing at that time. Um, I was playing Indigo Prophecy, and it was just like now it's campy and it's stupid and it's nonsensical. But at the time, at that age, I was like mind blown. This is the Matrix, if you ask me. And then as that games went on, I continued to play them. But then when Detroit came along, that was sort of a new it set a new bar for that genre of game. It set a new bar for like the branching narrative story based genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that tells me to be able to see a Star Wars, like something within the Star Wars world where you have made like three characters, maybe more, that you follow, and each one of them is a different faction. Maybe this dude is a Jedi, maybe this dude is
Bounty hunter.
an imperial. Yeah, maybe this dude's a bounty hunter. Maybe this guy's a Mandalorian. It's that type of stuff. Like I'm intrigued. I'm not just intrigued. It's one of those things where it's like you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Um, and there's so much speculating I could do now about that. And most importantly, um, as long as it's canon, I've been very interested in like Legends continuity and how that turns into canon, because there's some stuff that they completely flip flopped all the way around.
Yeah.
Um, like Boba Fett not actually being a Mandalorian versus he actually was by blood before, and like different stuff. Han's kids and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
right? Um, and so I'm kind of interested in where the new canon is going, and if this is contributing to that, I'm all in.
All right. Cool. The only last thing I wanted to talk about was the Apple, and I feel like they're just being some petty assholes. Like the fact that they're not gonna bring Fortnite back into the store. I mean, that's money on the table that they're both Apple and Epic are losing out on. But like in general, like I just the court ruling is what it is. You're gonna have to let them set up shop the way they want to. So I just think that sucks that they're just being like petty assholes. I would have
You're
hoped that the
taking that
ruling
ball and
would
going
have.
home.
I would have hoped that they would have just like fuck it. All right, let's just make it happen. But yeah, no.
Bro, Apple said, you guys, I'm going home.
All right, let's go ahead and move it along. Let's talk about some new releases.
What are you buying?
All right, as far as new
Love it.
releases goes, we have Rush from Mega Man. Uh, he is coming to Monster Hunter Rise as part of like a collab kind of integration and stuff like that. So they showed footage in this trailer of like Mega Man 11 and like Rush being like being the homie and stuff like that. And so now you get to see him in like straight up in Monster Hunter, and it's really weird. It's so like just jarring as fuck. So
It is weird. It's definitely weird. But I'm
yes,
for it. I'm here for it.
so they show them like the whole functionality and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Capcom can do whatever the hell they want with their characters. So, but yeah, that is there you guys. You get to see Rush. He's already available today, as of today. So
And I'm a fan of that version of Mega Man anyway. So
yeah, all right. And then next up is Deltarune Chapter 2. As I said before, it was stealth dropped last Friday, and now it's being stealth dropped today on the Switch. So I think it's been like what 3 years I think since Chapter 1. So kind of interesting that they took this long between chapters. And as far as the new releases go, here let me get my stuff set up here because I don't have it properly. There we go. All right. So, new releases. We have Death Stranding Director's Cut. It's going to be out on PS5 and it's September 24th. And next up is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It is coming out on the Switch today. Next up is Lost Judgment for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, also today. December 2021, Tokyo District Court. Akihiro Ehara, there we go, stands accused of groping a woman on a crowded train. A bystander's video footage of his attempt to flee the scene and subsequent apprehension is all over the news, and public outcry demands a maximum sentence. 3 days
mm,
ago, a dead body was found in an abandoned building in Yokohama. Have you identified it yet? He proclaims as confusion cuts through the courtroom. His defense lawyer, Saori Shirosaki, has no doubt that crucial details of the situations have been overlooked, as Ehara as was not even tried for the murder. She contacts Detective Takayuki Yagami to investigate this further. How could Ehara have committed two crimes at once? Was the sexual battery just a cover up? Has Ehara gamed the entire justice system? As victims surface and Yagami digs further into the truth, he is faced with the question: defend the law or enact justice? So, from just a single symbol, one can become a monster. Honestly, to tell you the truth, that plot, I had no idea what the hell was going on.
I'm
So,
enacting justice.
I've seen gameplay of it. It kind of reminds me of what's that Yakuza Like a Dragon?
Yeah, it is Yakuza.
Oh shit,
It
it is.
absolutely is. Yeah, it's if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but I think it's like the same like universe, same world, same city, all of that. Um, just like a different perspective, a different person.
Mm,
So like, dude is a disgraced cop, that's now a PI, and he's going around and doing his thing as a detective.
mm, that makes
Oh, also
sense.
a martial artist.
Yeah.
So you can't count that out.
All right. Let me set it up one more time. All right. Next up is Away, the survival series. It is out on PS5, PS4, and PC. And I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, everything that I'm about to say right now is all September 28th. So I believe that's on Tuesday. Chernobyl Light, PS4,
Mm.
Xbox One. Ghost Runner, PS5, Xbox Series. In Sound Mind, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Lemnis Gate, PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Neo: The World Ends with You is out on PC. New World is out on PC. Steel Assault, Switch and PC. Insurgency Sandstorm, PlayStation 4, Xbox One on September 29th. All right. And everything going forward from here on out is September 30th. Aeon Drive, PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Astria Ascending, PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Darksiders 3, out on the Switch. eFootball 2022, PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC. I believe this is like the spiritual successor to PES, since it's made by Konami. So I think it's just PES. Um, Hot Wheels Unleashed, PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Now, fun fact: Hot Wheels Unleashed was part of the sizzle reel at the end for the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Direct today.
It was. So Koch, like you mean like the record company Koch Media?
Coke Media? I thought it was Coke. Well, yeah, there's a
I
publisher.
mean, could could have been.
Yeah, whatever. Imposter Factory on PC, September 30th. And Rogue Lords on PC. And finally, The Last Friend, Switch and PC. Also, and that wraps it up for the new releases. Honestly, do you have a pick of the week?
Let me see. Actually,
Because I would say
I know here,
Lost Judgment is probably like the only big game that's like, because everything else is ports, by the way. So
yeah, a lot of this is ports. I think um Hugger would be happy about Chernobylite. That's her type of thing. New World is something that I know for a fact Baron is really excited about. Like he's been playing this since the first beta. He's all over it. For me, there's a couple games that look pretty, I guess. They look like something I should check out at some point or another. But I don't really have a pick of the week in this one.
ditto. I don't either. As far as like what I would say is a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I guess, but it's an old game and it's just now barely coming to the Switch. At least I think with the Switch version, I think you get like an expansion built into it as part of like the base game. So there you go. Uh,
Ooh.
as far as the rest of the show goes, let's go ahead and move on to the Broke Gamer's Guide.
Got a selection of good things on sale, stranger.
All right. So for the Broke Gamers Guide, we always go to the Epic Game Store first because they give away a free game every week. This week's free game is The Escapist, and we predicted, or we like sort of said out loud, we thought out loud. Did The Escapist, was that reviewed by Level One Gaming by any chance?
I want to say it was. I
Yeah.
cannot remember off the top of my head. I personally didn't touch it because just as a black man, I kind of steer clear of anything involving prison. Um so but I cannot remember. If it was like in the early days.
Yeah. Fair enough. You've landed yourself in prison again, and your only chance is to engineer an escape by any means necessary. How do you do it? It's up to you. Why not cause a prison riot, or dig a tunnel right under the walls, or even steal a guard's uniform to blend in with your captors? So that's interesting. It looks like a PS Vita esque title kind of thing. Just looking at the gameplay. Um, and that's this week's free game. And allegedly, next week's free game is something called Europa Universalis. And I'm gonna guess that that's a 4 since I can't read Roman numeral.
Yeah, it's 4.
Okay. All right. And next up, the Nintendo Switch. There's a big, huge sale going on the Nintendo Switch. A lot of sales. There's a blockbuster sale that ends on October 3rd. And the blockbuster sales, I see Ori and the Will of the Wisps for $20. It's like basically $10
Worth it.
off. That is definitely worth. I see Unravel 2 for $10, Rayman Legends Definitive Edition $10, Gris $7, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle for 15, Hades for damn near $18, Monster Hunter
A
Rise has
lot of
$10
these
off. Ugh.
a lot of these are worth the price. I mean, don't touch any Assassin's Creed game on the Switch. I'm gonna let y'all know that now. Um, you just don't do it. A lot of these are worth it. Overcooked, worth it. Not The
Yes.
Witcher.
Uh, I s-
Bloodstained,
Axiom
absolutely
Verge.
worth it.
Axiom Verge. Yeah.
Axiom. I never played Axiom Verge. I hear good things.
It's basically Metroid, the original NES Metroid. But yeah, let's see. Witcher 3, oh shit, for 36 bucks. Damn.
Mm.
Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is $10 off. Persona 5 Strikers is down to 36. Bioshock the Collection, that's 3 games for 20 bucks. That's not too bad.
Worth it.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, $30. What else? There was other sales going on here. I'm trying to let me see if I can scroll down. I saw other stuff. There's Team 2. Okay, so we have the Escapist 2 for $5.
Team
Uh,
17.
yeah,
Yeah, we
and
reviewed a lot of their stuff. Come to
Team
think of it.
17. Yeah, Team 17. I reviewed Going Under for Level 1 Gaming. I forgot what I gave it. I think I gave it a 7. Um, but yeah, let me see what else. Ukulele for $10. Uh, let's see. No. Okay, Sega has a sale going on, and I see the Sega Genesis Classic sale. It's half off from $30 slash to $15. I would say with the number of games and from a video game preservation standpoint, that's hella dope. So do you want to give a shout out to any of these games?
I mean, shout out to Catherine if you haven't played it. Shout out to the whole SMT series. I don't know. I can't really say whether or not Full Body is worth it like that because I didn't play Full Body. I was really into the original, and I kind of felt like I didn't really want to see that one mixed up. I'm not really a the remix game buyer. It's rare for me to do that. So like I'm still playing the first Persona 5. Let's just get that straight.
Damn.
Um yeah, I probably won't even touch Royal after until like years and years later when it's remastered on like PS6 or something. Um but shout out to them because shout out to Atlas
Hmm.
because also all the SMT games and the Persona games are really compelling. Excuse me. And I want to say the same people made Catherine too. So I like pretty much everything I see from them.
Yeah, so Catherine Full Body is half off from $50 to 25, and Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD, which is a remaster that came out I think earlier this year. Like I remember it was like part of a Nintendo Direct just recently. It's now been slashed to 32.50. And the last thing was an Activision sale. There's an Activision sale that's going on till October 3rd, and they have like your Crash 4 for $10 off. They have the Crash Insane Trilogy for 20 bucks. They have the Crash Team Racing, and they got Overwatch. Nobody's gonna buy Overwatch on the Nintendo Switch. Come on, man. But
At all.
Nintendo's the Overwatch on the Switch is 20 bucks. So
Insane Trilogy is worth that price, man.
let me see, what's that
Like if you
price?
don't have it, pick it up.
Tell ya 20 bucks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's the Nintendo Switch. They have a digital sales going on, and I found a couple of physical games on Nintendo Switch on Amazon. So I found Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for $33, and I also found Paper Mario: The Origami King for
Mm.
$40.88, which is like basically 20 bucks off. So Nintendo's got some deals going on, and finally to round it out, there's a PlayStation sale, a huge PlayStation sale going on. There's a games under 20 sale. Let's take a look at that. And I'm gonna take a look at a double discount sale. It usually means like if you're a PS Plus member, you get more savings.
Yeah.
So
So y'all know.
what's up?
Why you before you really go into it, I do want to mention um if you are if you don't have PS Plus right now, or if you haven't had PS Plus before, 1 month if you want to try it is literally $1 right now. Um,
Damn.
yeah, you can get a month of PS Plus right now for it. I partook in this sale today. I kind of since I've been playing on my Xbox, it's been Xbox PC and a little bit of Switch, and I've been neglecting my PlayStation. So I let that PS Plus subscription lapse, and I haven't even considered going back and getting it. But um, actually dipped in to grab the season pass for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot today because it's like 12.50 or something like that, right? Um, and yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see that 1 month of PS Plus was $1. So
Damn. Nice.
even though I may not use it, it was $1. So
Get
whatever.
them free games and get them sales, especially because there's a sale going on right now. So you get like basically instead of getting 30% off, you get 60% off or whatever. So I see here for $5 you can get Injustice 2. I'm guessing it's the vanilla like base game without the expansion, without the DLC. There's a
Nah, just
Resident
go get the whole thing. It's not worth it.
exactly. Resident Evil triple pack for $20. Crash. So I'm seeing a lot of that same the Spiral Reignited trilogy and the Crash Insane trilogy. I guess they're having an Activision sale on all platforms. I see Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. That's 3 games for $10. Damn, that's a good
Worth
one.
it. The
Worth.
Uncharted games are great.
Um, let's see. Oh my. Okay, Mortal Kombat XL, $5. Okay, that's just the add-ons. Okay. No.
If you haven't played Gotham Knight yet, that's worth it.
Anthem. No.
Oh,
nine
is that?
bucks. $9 for Anthem. No.
I mean,
No.
it's you know,
I
it's
think there
not
was
that bad.
I think there was like a GameStop that was selling Anthem for $2 at one point for when it was on the clearance rack, and I think that was
Oh
okay.
man,
I think that was okay. You'd have to
you
ping
know,
me.
there was a game back in the Gap that it was on PS2, and I saw it for $2. I remember having it at some point, and I don't remember what happened to it, so I picked it back up for $2, and it was a little more than $2 worth of fun. I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
While you're on this page though, two games that I feel like people absolutely have to play. Telltale Batman. You are not going to go wrong with Telltale Batman.
Yeah,
And
750.
if you scroll down a little more, My Friend Pedro.
$9. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about my friend Pedro as well. I also want to give a shout out to Inside. It's only $5. That's a dope. That's dope right there. It's a good game. Uh,
Pedro's really short, but it's you're gonna enjoy it. You are absolutely like guaranteed to really enjoy that game.
And then shout out to Jackbox Party Pack for $10. All right, let's go ahead and actually go to the other. This is the double discount sale. So like Red Dead Redemption 2 is I guess 66 bucks for like the for non PS Plus members, but you get a bigger discount for your PS Plus members. So these prices that I'm showing here, I believe that these are for since I'm not signed into my PSN account right now. It's not going to show me the full like discount sale price. So, but anyways, I see Jedi Fallen Order's on sale. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is on sale. Marvel's Avengers from Square Enix is on sale. Yeah, a Watch Dogs Legion. Okay, sure, why not? I don't really. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little underwhelmed by this sale. Like, I want. Where are the bangers? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, these don't all look super worthy. Just even comparing the prices, um, not a lot of these games seem super worth it for the price that they offering.
yeah, yeah, agreed. So I mean, like I said, these are like AAA games and stuff like that, but they're just kind of older. You know what I mean? Like I would like to see like some newer games, like also discounted. Um,
But Detroit, since I just saw it, Detroit is worth that price. Go ahead and pick that up if you haven't touched it. And Batman Gotham Knight, just the regular edition. It's a lot of game for that price.
yeah. So like for instance, so like it's 25% off if you're not a PS Plus member, so that'd be $15. Or if you are a PS Plus member, it's $10. So that's 50% off right there. That's good. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the sales here. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the show here. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Dallas, I'm not gonna make you do a sharing the love because we're a bit on overtime anyway. So we'll go ahead and wrap it
It's
up.
all good. Yeah.
It is time to end. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Ready Press Play. Remember you can reach the podcast at ReadyPlayNetwork.com or simply at Ready Press Play on Twitter or TikTok. I'm on Twitter at Chakalaka88 and Dallas.
At Dallaz Man, Dallaz Man.
Don't forget to subscribe, give us a review, tell your friends about the show, and all that good stuff. See you next time.